Welcome to our channel. Today we will be watching Sword Art Online, Sherzo of Deep Night, and summarizing what's happening in this crazy world. In the beginning, we see three people running in a corridor, fighting against a half-snake, half-human warrior. When the warrior is about to injure the three friends, a black-haired youth runs past him and defeats the warrior. Meanwhile, a timer is counting down, and the oldest of the three men follows the black-haired youth into a bright room, where an announcement declares that this is a beta version of the game and to wait for the full release. In the morning, we see Asuna Yuki, which is our main character, in her house getting ready for the day. She greets her servant named Sata and then sits down for breakfast with her family. Her father asks her how school is going, and she replies that it's going well. But her mother questions why it's not the best. Clearly, she is not the satisfied type. Yuki apologizes and sits down. Before she leaves, her brother tells her that she doesn't have to push herself too hard. At school, Yuki's friend come up to her and compliment her on her grades, and Yuki responds humbly. Then a girl with purple hair enters the classroom, and Yuki is surprised but smiles when she sees her. Everyone greets the girl, Misumi Tosawa, and comments on how she's always in first place. The girls continue to praise Tosawa until the class starts. In the evening, after saying goodbye to her friends, Yuki goes up to the rooftop where Tosawa is waiting for her. They start playing a game together, and when Yuki asks how Tosawa is so good at the game, Tosawa reveals that she used to play in arcades. Then Tosawa tells her about a product called the Nerve Gear, and the Sword Art Online game compatible with it. She wants her to get the device too, but Yuki says it's impossible. They play a bit more video games, and when Yuki goes home, she finds the Nerve Gear and the Sword Art Online game on her brother's desk. She logs in and designs her character before being transported to the starting town on the first floor, a massive city in the sky. She sees other players around her in the starting town, and an NPC greets her as a sword master and asks her what she wants. Asuna waits a bit and says she's looking for a friend named Misumi, but the NPC tells her there's no such player. Just then, a masked man grabs her from behind and asks what she's doing there. Asuna starts screaming in fear, but the man changes his voice and reveals himself to be Misumi, or rather Mito, in this world. Mito explains to Asuna how this world works, and they go shopping and explore the city together. Mito offers to buy her food, but Asuna declines, trying to find the logout button, but she can't find it. Suddenly, they're all teleported to a plaza, and they see warning sign messages filling the sky. A liquid pours down, turning into a sorcerer who greets them and introduces himself as Kayaba Akihiko, the game's designer. Mito tells Asuna that this man created the game. Kayaba tells him that there's no logout button, and it's a feature of SAO. No one can leave the game, and if anyone tries to remove the Nerve Gear, a powerful microwave will destroy the player's brain. He reveals that 213 people have already died because of this. The only way to leave the game is to clear all 100 floors and defeat the final boss. Kayaba leaves them with a gift, a mirror, before all the players are returned to their real-life selves. Kayaba disappears after saying a few philosophical and cool-sounding words. Asuna questions the reality of the situation. Misumi tells her that they need to leave the town to get stronger and beat the game. Asuna is attacked by two wolves, and Misumi saves her, but she complains about the situation and wants to leave. Misumi convinces her that they can't leave unless they beat the game, and he sends her a friend request. Asuna accepts, and they form a party, fighting enemies and getting stronger as time passes. They return to the town, go shopping, and defeat more monsters in the forest before eating together in the town. During this process, they become stronger. They kill a golem in a cave, and Misumi tells him how much she has improved in the game as they leave the cave. Misumi explains to her that this game is in a beta version. As they progress, they hear the sounds of a battle and rush towards the noise, hearing people screaming in agony. Two people are under attack by an overwhelming number of tiny monsters. Asuna wants to help them, but Misumi tells her it's impossible. They return home feeling sad about what happened. Asuna shows Misumi the new clothes and potions she has brought. They talk about the players who died in the dungeon, and Misumi tells Asuna it won't happen to her. The next day, we see Asuna and Misumi on a rocky road. Misumi talks about a plant-like monsters, and they encounter some of them and start fighting. During the fight, Misumi sees a monster called Spry Shrew-Man and is surprised. Misumi attacks and defeats it, taking its loot. Meanwhile, Asuna is attacked by another monster, and the area is filled with plant-like monsters. Misumi rushes to help, but other monsters slow him down, and she falls off a cliff. She drinks a potion and tries to climb up but falls again due to a broken platform. She tries to find another way but is blocked by more monsters. Asuna is cornered by the monsters and tries to defend herself, but her health is running low, and she has run out of potions. When only one monster is left, a huge gorilla-like monster appears and kills our monster plant friend. Asuna is on the brink of death, and Misumi is still fighting other monsters. She apologizes to Asuna and leaves their party group, thinking she has caused her death. The moment Asuna is about to be killed, our second protagonist, Kirito, arrives and defeats the monster. Kirito asks if Asuna is okay, but when she doesn't respond, he gives her a potion and leaves. Misumi wants to message Asuna, but it's afraid she died. Asuna goes back to home and realizes she can't log out and returns home. Her mother invites her to dinner, but suddenly everything disappears, and she sees Mito surrounded by monsters. It was all a nightmare, and she is still in the game. She walks on the street alone and hears that 1,800 players have died. She sits down somewhere and thinks about what the game maker said while eating something. She goes to the market and buys some cool clothes to show off, then sets off. After killing many monsters in a dungeon, she meets Kirito, who gives her a few pro tips and learns that Asuna has been in a dungeon for 3 to 4 days and won't be returning to town. Kirito is surprised and opposes it, but Asuna refuses and faints while continuing on her way. When she wakes up, she realizes she is in the forest with Kirito. She doesn't talk much to Kirito and is about to leave after he gives her valuable information, but Kirito invites her to a meeting to kill the monster on the first floor. They attend the meeting and are greeted by Diabo, who makes them split into groups of 6, and Kirito offers to team up with Asuna. Asuna accepts that they form a group, just as Diabo is about to explain the plan. Kibao intervenes and says that some of them need to apologize for the death of other players, claiming that they were beta testers and cannot be trusted. Ago opposes this and says that the free guidebook was designed by beta players. Then they continue with the meeting. Asuna is about to leave when she sees Mito. At night, while eating bread that looks like a stone alone, Kirito comes and sits next to her. He even eats the bread that looks like a stone and gives her a nice cream as a gift, which Asuna likes and thanks him for. Kirito invites her to his house and tells her that there is a bathroom there. Asuna gets excited and goes to Kirito's house to take a bath. When they exit, Kirito gives her a sword and they head to the blacksmith to upgrade the sword together. On the way, when Asuna asks Kirito why he does these good deeds, Kirito says he doesn't want to regret any of his group members dying. Then, they start talking about beta testers and Asuna tells Kirito what Mito did to her. Kirito asks about the monsters Mito was chasing at the time, and Asuna describes the creature. Kirito then explains that the SAO is not a normal game and that these kinds of things are normal. After recalling some emotional memories, Asuna thanks Kirito. The next morning, the group gathers and Kirito discusses some tactics with Asuna before they head to the dungeon. When they reach the door, Diabo signals to everyone and opens it. Inside, they encounter a huge red wolf, followed by smaller wolves, and the action-packed fight begins. Diabo gives them tactics, and they continue to fight with strong steps. The red wolf weakens, and everyone surrounds it. As Diabo runs toward the wolf, Kirito realizes that the monster's weapon doesn't match the information they have, and he tells everyone to retreat, but it's too late. The monster jumps and attacks with a wide area attack, knocking everyone down. The monster lands the final blow on Diabo and kills him. While everyone was screaming in fear, new Little Wolf Knight spawns and the battle continues. Asuna rushes to help Mito, who was exhausted, and they start fighting together. Mito realizes that it's Asuna and is shocked, tears streaming down her face. Asuna tells her that they will finish this game, and Mito gives her a sword. Asuna takes the sword and attacks the big red wolf. She then tells everyone to attack separately because the monster is doing area attacks. They continue to fight with Kirito, but he gets severely injured. Asuna tries to attack the wolf but falls, and Mito comes to her aid with her remaining HP. Kirito gets up and suggests that they make one last attack together. They attack the monster continuously, and Kirito lands the final blow, destroying the creature. Everyone cheers and celebrates the moment, and Kirito congratulates Asuna. Kibao accuses Kirito of allowing Diabo to die, and everyone agrees, revealing that Kirito and Asuna were beta testers and accusing them of lying. Kirito laughs and tells them that Asuna was not a beta tester and that the beta testers were rookies, and he was one of the top players at the time. Everyone becomes even angrier and yells, but Kirito tells them that he's going to the second floor and anyone who wants to can follow. Asuna follows Kirito, and Mito calls out to her, but Asuna tells her she will follow Kirito and runs after him. They climb the stairs and open a big door, reaching the second floor. Asuna thanks Kirito, and they set out on their journey together. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our recap.